I like New York a lot. I've been lucky enough to visit a lot of the major cities of the world, and probably apart from Tokyo, because Tokyo's just crazy. It's got to be my favourite major city, but New York is a close second. Well, I'm a small town boy through and through, Redbird. Birmingham, I suppose, isn't that big, but for me, it's enormous. It's where I'm staying just now. Not in Alabama, like in England. Okay, let us get another more time chosen. Oh, I would love another one of those bastards hex wraiths. Okay, give me this. Oh man, I could get another hex wraith. Are they actually better than Black Knights? I don't think they are massively. Any more Vargwolves or anything? No. Right, that's enough. It's being insane. You shall enslave the world, my friend. You shall. Okay, Castle Drakenhof. Save money, actually. There was a rebellion here, if I remember. Yes, there was. You can go deal with that, please. Tokyo's incredible. I tell you something, you don't worry about petty crime in Tokyo, though. Obviously, organised crime's a different thing, but it's a very safe-feeling city. But it's insane, man. Tokyo is... I love Tokyo. Absolutely love it. Sin, have you been to Japan before? I think you said you'd been to China. Yeah, I would have thought you would have loved Tokyo or Japan. Yeah, organised crime. But you don't... Well, unless you're in organised crime yourself, Redbird. But you don't have to worry about organised crime. The crime statistic rates in Japan are just insane. You know, this... The solve rate is just incredible. It's like 99%. Some of that's to do with a cultural thing, but... Yeah, you're very rare to even hear about muggins and things in Japan. You do hear, obviously, about organised crime. Although I would point out that organised crime in Japan is lower than that than in the States, for example, and most of Europe. But it's definitely not a non-issue. But petty crime is pretty low. Japan's amazing, man. So many strange things. Oh yeah, it's very pricey. But I mean, cost of living over there isn't particularly pricey if you include obviously what's this? The average income. But for us and for Americans, it's pretty expensive. Okay, what do I need to do? Raiding, campaign movement 50%. Okay, we're coming for you. Oh, you little bastard. Bloody spear rebels. Go and attack them, please. Oh man, you want to make... I want to go back to Japan. Okay, we're going to create that. I need so much money. Jesus Christ. Okay, we'll make a little more money here. Raid. You know, Japan is odd. We nuked them twice and now they love the USA. I mean, that does not start to trace back to the fact that Japanese public during World War II states. Yeah, I think Japan are more realistic than us. I mean, Japan doesn't identify with Imperial Japan at all, so they don't have... Well, I mean, I'm making a huge generalisation and I apologise to any Japanese people that disagree with this, but my Japanese friends, and German friends, for what I'm about to say, there's maybe a slight guilt complex in Germany. Not for everybody, and there shouldn't be for our generation, of course. But in Japan, that's not the same. They don't feel like that, from my understanding. Could be wrong, so apologies. But, yeah, it's cool. Yeah, I mean, they probably should have been more worried about the Soviet Union by that point than you guys. No offense, but let's not talk about the war, though. Let's definitely not go down that way. Oh god. Units replenished. Constant nonsense in this province, man. Isabella. Okay, Winds of Magic. And let's do Aura of Supremacy. Right, we need to save up money. Paleface, you can just stay there. World War II is a very funny thing, though, man. I really don't want to get into this but like, you know, I studied history, although mainly classical history, fair, but the perception of what happened in World War II is very odd, especially what Britain and America have to compared to maybe. I'm not talking about Japan and Germany so much, but yeah, I don't know. It's very we and I do mean we as in our two places have a very odd view on some particular parts of what happened in the war that are not accurate. For example, how much we won the war. You know. It's interesting to note though that Germany and Japan both have far higher standard of living than USA or UK. Bastards. Love you, really. Weirdly, actually, Germany and Japan are two of my favourite countries. What do you do when the superpower tries to take advantage of their power with everyone? No, I don't think it's about me. Yeah, I agree with that, Sin. Well, I think Japan did choose the US. It's a weird one, though. The whole Soviet. I know we can't talk about this. I'm gonna. One last thing. I think that our perception in Europe, well, at least Western Europe, as in the UK and US in particular, I suppose, which isn't Europe, I realise, is that, you know, us, US and UK, Canadians, Australians, D-Day won the war in Europe. D-Day would have not been successful if it wasn't for the Soviet Union push. In fact, the Soviet Union push would have been successful, I believe, without D-Day. But the perception over here in the European theatre is oddly the reverse. It's so odd. You know, it really annoys me, the name McDonald's. It's one of the proudest Scottish surnames you can get, and everybody bloody associates it to bloody cheeseburgers now. I do, Redbird, but it's a bad subject to bring up. Not for me, you, and Sin, but for other people that may be listening. Vlad von Karstein. The world will be yours, Vlad. Loot and occupy. All shall perish, Vlad. Right, let us do that. We will get rid of that. Vlad is upgraded again. Supernatural horror, unliving host. Yeah, I know. That's something we need to talk about as a group. I have eaten McDonald's in a couple of countries, and you would expect, and maybe Americans will disagree because maybe they like this taste more than our taste. But the burgers, and not the burgers in America, because that's not true, but the burgers in McDonald's in America suck. It's because they need to justify it. Yeah. We call ours Mackie. Well, actually, Sin, what do you call McDonald's? We call it Mackie D's, but we call McDonald's Mac D's. So don't know if it's quite the same. I greatly enjoy history, but it's such an argumentative subject for most. Okay, Melissa. I'm now at war with the Dawi, by the way, for anybody watching. The moot. Can you spread vampiric corruption, please? Oh no, we need to keep saving our pennies. Essen. Oh, I can't spend any of this money, man. Okay, tax province. Tax province. Can we tax this province yet? Nope. I've heard people call it something else in England, in London and in Birmingham, but I can't think what I can't think. There is slight names. I think they call it I don't know, I might be talking crap, I'm not going to say it, but I've heard 2 different names right down here. Vampiric corruption is probably what we need. Let's do public order as well. Okay, I'm going to move down. Apparently our fast food chains are starting to spread everywhere. We will make you fat, then you can't make fun of us. Yeah, fast food as well and truly. Oh, now there's an interesting subject, Sin. Not probably to do with Mackies, because that's definitely slang, but it's a conversation I've had with a few people down here. You know, I work with a lot of very well-educated people, which is great, very interesting to talk to, and they have a real belief in how they speak is the correct way to speak, which of course is because they're speaking it. But when something's an official dialect of a language, when does it become the correct way to speak? Is, for example, Scots. I'm referring to Doric rather than anything else, which is a recognised dialect of English. And it's interesting how many people try to correct me on something that is officially recognised as part of the language. I'm not saying you did, by the way. Yeah, loads have been spreading here recently. 5 Guys everywhere now. What's 5 Guys? Is that burger place?
I thirst.
That's weird. That sounded like a noise downstairs. Let's hope not. Okay, Vladdy. I want to use your army. Public order, please. We got anything to build up here? Carrick Ungar, Carrick Cadron. Income. Twerking. Oh, it's not in the dictionary, is it? What the So I'm not sure what it'd take me to accept new terms of various signs. No, it's more. I'm more talking about, like, for example, Doric, which is considerably older than what people would classify as the Queen's English, is still spoken where I come from, by educated people as well. And it's words that you probably would recognise, Sin, but you know, people have tried to correct me on it before in a social setting, and I get rather irritated with them. Well, Doric is the oldest recognised official dialect, I believe, of the English language. It's just that. It's just Scots. Not like Glaswegian or something, but it's more Aberdeen area that speak it now. Very odd sounding. I suppose we're not really talking about slang in this. This is dialect issues, but I suppose when you have English, which is such a bastardized language in itself, most languages are, but English probably more so than many, you're always going to end up with some anomalies. Also, twerking though. I seen a kid twerk on the path the other day with like 2 friends. I don't understand, like a young kid as well. It's really weird. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Egyptian Arabic, for example, what I was learning. You know, it's spoken by 100 million people, but yeah. Yeah, I mean, it is dialect. It's exactly what it is. Ah, shit.
I shall go.
Okay, stay there. Come peek. Yeah, let's get more gold. Jesus Christ, I need money. Money really bad. I don't get any more money for raiding, do I?
This better be important.
Okay. It's not something I speak about too much, but I've learned try to learn a few languages. Oh, hello, greenskins. Never managed Japanese. One of my best friends is married to a Japanese lady. The reason I was in Japan was visiting him actually when he was teaching English over there. I'd like to learn Japanese, but I'm stuck on a few different languages right now. Polish and Mandarin are the two that I'm spending most of my time on just now. I find Polish really hard actually. Don't know why. Well, there's obvious connections, but I find it a very challenging language. The Sword of Cain has been claimed.
I know the way. They will know on death.
I really want to learn so many languages. Yeah, I think we mentioned this. I'm pretty quick at picking up the basics of a language, even to conversational, but then I kind of just give up after that, which is pathetic, really. I'd like to learn more languages. You should learn Welsh, Redbird, if you want to see some real long words. Maybe we should do a Twitch stream with us learning languages soon. That sounds very boring, actually. I wonder if people would watch that, though. Maybe. I don't know. I really want. Would you really? Would it matter what language? Yeah, the French is lovely. I just love the way the French say things. I've got a terrible accent. But Sid, I might take you up on that, actually. That could be quite fun. I'm just trying to think who I know. So you probably wouldn't want to learn, I don't know, like, well, Welsh, for example. You'd be more interested in Chinese, Arabic, what about Russian or something like that? Maybe Spanish. The major languages, I presume, is what you're interested in. Correct me if I'm wrong, though, please. Yeah, we could. We could become the new Rosetta Stone.
Part of the dead. Cloaked in darkness.
Cloaked in darkness. Oh. It's not a bad way to learn a language, though. Media. You often learn oddities of the language, but sometimes it's truer to the actual language.
Welcome to my court. The souls are mine.
I really don't want to lose Essen. Okay, you stay there. Can I get out of here yet? I can indeed. R for Paleface.
On thy knees. Then and only then shall I.
Ah, shit. French is probably the... Well, definitely out of those four, the one that I know the most of all. It's been a long time since I've done any French. Could be boring, although it'd be easy for me to find somebody to teach us French. Yeah, maybe. I wasn't really referring to anime, I was referring to the use of media to learn language, but that could very well be for specific anime. Okay, so I'm at war with... It's quite an interesting prospect, actually. Learning language live on Twitch. That'd be kind of cool.
The world will drown
Can you make it? Nope.
into darkness.
Have you ever heard of Mikael Thomasson?
Mostly shines. Spread our gold here. Look on me and
I am looking at you. Calm down. Isabella. Have you? Did you use Mikael Thomas, or did you use like Rosetta Stone type stuff? Pillars of Grunge. Oh, is that Grimgor? Nice. Oh, what do I get for Grimgor? Mikael Thomas, I have used probably dozens of times. I had real struggle with language originally because of my dyslexia, but Mikael Thomas really works for me. Not the people that use the Mikael Thomas method, but Mikael Thomas himself. I would love a fast food chain that only serves toast in Japanese. Faction destroyed. Karak Azul. Oh man, I need to attack Grimgor, don't I?
I am invincible. Bend to my will.
Okay. Plus 40 armor piercing. Oh wow.
Death and destruction.
Ah shit, can you get away? No, surely not.
Black wit.
So I'm at 478 just now.
Blood.
Oh, what? No, I have to fight that, even though it says it's massively in my favour. It's not that much in my favour, surely. Okay. I like the idea of doing language on Twitch, you know. I might reach out. How do you feel about... Wait, which were the languages you said, Sin? How do you feel about Mandarin?
Vlad von Karstein.
We surpass Nagash, noble of the night.
Okay, let's use you two here. You get up there. You get up there.
The summoning begins.
You two down the middle. Terrorgeist there. Shit. You straight into the thick of it as well. Okay, let's pause. Ah, bugger. Maybe 3% of the profits. Maybe. Okay, Vlad, if you can go straight in there. You guys go there. You get in there. Terrorgeist just go straight in. Heartlamp. You get up there. You get over there. And you get over there. Maybe, but I mean, obviously Mandarin is the most spoken first language in the world now, I believe. Or is it still I don't know. Mandarin's spoken by 900 million of the people in China. I feel like China is going to become more relevant. I'm not bothered though. I mean, Spanish French, German, Japanese, even Russian. Probably not bad ideas. Hindi, I suppose you could make an argument for, but obviously the language tuition in India means that English is very, very prevalent compared to even other countries. Okay, go help out in there. Okay, Vlad. You okay in there, buddy? I believe you are. Okay, you get up here. You get in on the spear boys. I don't think that'll take too long. I'd probably argue that English is one of the more savage and gibberish like languages out there. But unfortunately it happens to be all our first languages. So. Okay, Terrorgeist, you get after this stupid wood elf. Okay, you get in there. Vlad, you go for Grimgor. Although I imagine he'll hurt you a bit. Yeah, you've got a semi-point on that, I'd suggest. Okay, we get you guys around here. You around there. You around there. You go straight in over the top. Vlad. Well, I think that the context is enormously different, but English is definitely not the simplest of languages in pure makeup of language. Definitely not. But the context of learning is, it's almost individual in the way you can break it up. So, what the? I don't even know what's going on. I'm speaking about languages. I'm in a major battle here, guys. What's more important, I ask you?
We are immortal.
It's not the best plan if I'm there. Get in there, please. Okay, you raise that there. You guys get in there. Yeah, English US I should say, really bugs me when I have to use it. Everything's just slightly off. I think what's also annoying, I have dyslexia, so I sometimes don't immediately pick up on spell mistakes. I'm not shocking at spelling, but I could be better, certainly. With American English, I get so many things a lot, especially with formal report writing. It's a real pain in the ass. Okay, I can't see. Where is Vlad? Okay, you get in there. Wind of Death, please. It's beautiful looking, isn't it? Okay, we could do with another Pit of Shadows. We can't do that. Vlad killed a bunch of people. Where is Grimgor, though? Oh shit, am I going to lose that? Vlad, can you save that, please, bud? Where's Grimgor? Can't let Grimgor get away. Seriously, I can't see him. He can't be dead. I would have noticed. There he is. Okay, Spirit Leech on Grimgor. Come on, go in on him. I need you to go and deal with whatever's flying around. Yeah, you lot will do. Well, the US doesn't have the best literacy rates, so for this matter, it doesn't count. It's funny because I would often spell what I would consider it being wrong, as in without the U, because of dyslexia. I mean, the country we live in is literally called England, so I can't argue with it too much. I mean, I'd like to, trust me. I'm on your side. It does crack me up, though, when people do call it American. It's like, what are you talking about? Grimgor is dead. Boom. Okay, that went pretty well. That's another one you can't have, I'm afraid. The largest sport in the world. It gets to choose what it's called. And that's football. Where does the word soccer even come from? You've done pretty well there, Mortis Engine. I don't know, Redbird. You should have seen the English football fans during the World Cup. Pretty hard to fight with that ego. Maybe where you guys got it from. Oh, well, that's nasty. Not that I can speak about my country. I never even got close to the World Cup. Actually, that's not quite true, but... Soccer. Hand egg. Oh, I'm going to call it that from now on. Hand egg. I think we should probably call it American hand egg, just so nobody gets confused. Just alienated 80% of my audience. Sorry. Rabid animals. Hopefully the majority aren't, but I have seen a few football fans. Yeah, hand egg, I like that a lot.
Bring them death!
Bring them death. You're bringing them something. Oh shit. Okay, leadership when fighting.
I am invincible.
Don't think you are invincible, but you're getting close.
What is your will?
Okay, I tell you what. Take all of that. Isabella's gonna get bigger and better things.
I am gone. Where's my god?
I've seen some terrible rugby fans as well, Sin. Although I would generally agree that rugby fans are better. Are you a rugby fan? By any chance?
The von Darstein. Sleep chimes. Night march.
Vladdy daddy. I don't like openly disagreeing, Sin, but I'm not sure that rugby fans that are yobs are massively rare. I go to a few rugby games myself, and it is less common than football fans, but it is definitely not a rarity. Soccer is short for association football or something like that. People think it originated. Yeah, I mean, the rules originated in England. It's ridiculous to think that the game of football originated in any country. I mean, kicking a round spherical object on the ground between a group of people. Probably the oldest sport, apart from maybe catch or something that existed. Auto resolve. First ever international football game was played in Scotland between Scotland and England in a cricket ground. Did you know that? Very interesting. It's not very interesting, really.
Welcome to my court. This better be important.
Okay, Vlad.
Vlad,
Let's go take the Pillars of Grunge out.
Vlad!
Oh, Jesus. Oh, God, that's a lot of gunners. Okay, I think this might be the last battle of the evening. I think I know where that is. Yeah, I do know where that is. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Kick volleyball. There's a few games like that. It's quite interesting. I actually seen a game of that live, which is the only reason I know. When I was living in that neck of the woods.
Vlad von Carstein.
I quite like handball generally.
Yes?
It's not very popular in the UK, but obviously in Europe it's...
No one can stop me.
Yeah, that happens pretty much every other... Well, no, that's maybe a bit unfair on some of the football fans, but... Soccer fans, if you will. It does happen quite commonly here. I really tried to get into Handy. I can never get myself... I did try to watch the Super Bowl, but it's not... I'll get shouted at, no doubt, here by somebody in the comments when this goes on YouTube, but I don't find it an intense enough sport. Obviously in short bursts it is, but just the stopping and starting is really odd for me. Ah, bollocks. Okay, you need to come here. You need to get up there. Okay, Terrorgeist, if you can get into those Thunderers, that'd be great. Where is Vlad?
What do you want?
Actually, Vlad, you get up on the walls.
It shall be so.
Come on. Oh, shit. You get there, please, as well. You get in there. Vlad, you're taking a long time to go up these walls. Let's break down these goddamn gates.
Vlad von Carstein.
Come on, get over the walls. Terrorgeists. You could just get in there, actually. Just hurt them. Time has indeed come. Oh, beautiful. Okay, Vlad, get up there, please.
Vlad von Carstein.
When the Super Bowl happens, everyone wonders what's wrong with the US. When the World Cup happens, everyone wonders what's wrong with everyone besides the US. Pretty much. It's fair. I tried to get into the Super Bowl, man, honestly. I just... the adverts and the commercialization. Oh, it's madness. But that's what Americans like, I'm led to believe, so... Good for them. Okay, you need to get through here. There's no reason to be caught in this nonsense. Okay, stick that on and stick the fate of Buna on this as well, please. And you get up here as well. Vlad, get some skeletons behind him. You stick a spirit leech. Oh yeah, we love the World Cup. Well, it's the most popular single sporting event in the world, isn't it? So not everybody loves it though. I would imagine Sin's not a huge fan of the World Cup. Well, maybe the World Cup of, I don't know how to say it, but kick volleyball. Actually, that would be pretty cool. Let's get some zombies in there, please. Oh, you almost done up here? Think so. Okay, Terrorgeist, where are you? Do some damage to these guys, would you? Oh. It's been a long time since the Super Bowl has been in the top 10 of most watched sports, though, sporting games. I watch it most years with American friends, but the spectacle, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I noticed that this year. I think it's probably because I'm living in England, but more people are watching the World Cup than I would normally have imagined. You go help these guys out, they're struggling. You go help that out. Yeah. Well, it's like the... What's the baseball thing? I realise that the vast majority of my audience are Americans, so I am sorry. I do enjoy baseball, though. If that makes any difference. Okay, come on. Just rip past him. Come on, Vlad. Do some work here. What does this do? You stay on them. You guys. Give it a few more years, Redbird. You'll be falling down that list, I'm afraid. Good old China. That's why we should learn Chinese. I watched a Canadian football, is it just called? It's a wee bit different, right? It was a bit... I thought I was just getting used to American American football. I really wanted Croatia to win the World Cup this year. Okay, can you get up there and support, please? Okay, get in there. Come on, Vargolf. France. It's France v Croatia in the final. France are kind of old hands at it. I was looking forward to seeing the youngest country and the smallest country to ever win the World Cup. Would have been nice. Not that I have anything against France, mind you.
Die, mortals! Die!
Oh, England were never going to win it. I enjoyed watching England play. I'm certainly not one of the Scotsmen that supports everyone but England, but from a non-biased point of view, you could see that England weren't the best team in the World Cup. But Croatia knocked England out. I really wanted Croatia to win. I thought they did very well for such a small country.
All shall bow before me.
Okay, another Dawi city. In this instance, it would just be salty English people. I think you'll find that the rest of the British people might have thought a little bit differently. Man, I really hurt them in that battle. Loot and occupy. Oh, Jesus Christ. What is that? Okay, growth. Spread that old vampiric corruption. Magical animus. Well, unless you go back in time. Or we're not counting the history wins. I think England will probably win it in the not too distant future, but we'll see. We'll see. You're certainly more likely to win it than Scotland will, my friends, so
This better be important.
obviously, soccer is one of the fastest growing sports in America now, so I won't be surprised. Oh, shit, the Empire. I was reading somewhere that China now has 200 million people actively playing football. Don't be surprised if we start seeing some quality coming out of there. I believe their chairman is very into soccer. Yeah, and I think that's States. I mean, I believe it's the 5th sport in America now, but it'll unlikely be the first anytime soon. But in China, I believe it is the first sport, and obviously the amount of money they're putting in is going to be more than anyone else as well, which is very interesting. I'm quite eager to see what comes out of China in terms of sports. Another rebellion.
What flower of life?
Okay, Karazakarak. How did you get here, Manfred? Okay, continue. Oh, I never meant to do that. Shit.
Shed their blood.
Okay, let's attack this. We'll call this the last battle of the evening. Ha! That's very rude. China's actually had some very interesting developments in sport recently. Even like their sprinters and things have the fastest gains in athletics history in the last 4 years or so. Yeah, I think we'll see some extreme quality from. Although I do understand the joke, but I think it'll be very interesting to see in our lifetimes. Well, actually, statistically speaking, the US has not been doing that well compared to normal in the last few years. China's been the one really growing. I think maybe not the next Olympic Games, but after that, the Olympic Games will be dominated by China. Although I'm always annoyed by the Olympic game medal table. I mean, the whole point of the Olympics is we really shouldn't be comparing country medal tables. We should be looking at individuals, the Olympians. You guys might know this. Are they honestly looking at adding esports to the Olympic Games, by the way? How do you feel about that actually as well? Sorry, I'm just replying to somebody that sent me a direct message here. Give me a second. Oh, I think you guys care. Not for a second do I think that you don't care. Do you not think they will then? Chess I could see. I'm not sure how exciting it would be to watch though. Climbings? What sort of climbing? As in indoor rock climbing? Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's quite cool. Is it just dry rock or is there any ice climbing? I don't disagree, you'll be competitive, but I'm not saying I support China here, by the way. Not that I don't support them or anything, but I think even going to try and compete with their budget in the near future might be difficult even for the States. Is that going to work at all? That didn't work. Shit. Okay, Spirit Leech. Okay, I need you to cast the Vortex. I suppose that might make the Winter Olympics. I did a bit of ice climbing when I was younger, you see. Very much enjoyed it. Wasn't very good at it, but... I mean, it is slightly slower than those crazy speed climbers, but it's much faster than I would imagine most people presume. Cat's going mental. I think it's about time I feed her. I will finish up after this battle, folks. I know you've not been watching this too much, but... Yeah, bouldering's quite fun as well. A lot of bouldering up where I come from. Mainly because there's lots of boulders available. I would imagine that the Chinese will be spending a hell of a lot more money than anybody else on space travel quite soon. Yeah, true. I mean, realistically, once China and India has one of the fastest growing economies in the world, start, you know, dealing with their internal issues, you know, China will take over in terms of economy. They already have taken over in terms of purchasing parity power, which is a truly better measure than the US. It's just natural change in order, unfortunately. Well, not unfortunately, it's just how things work. But... So do you not think esports will come in then? Because I would have imagined Olympics are always just trying to stay relevant. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I don't even watch esports now, and I love computer games, obviously. Can never get into it. It's not my sort of games that people play, that's the problem. Spirit Leech. Stick some skeletons down here. I think I did that wrong. Pretty sure I did that wrong. I did indeed. They're not anti-large, are they? Nope. Shit. Leave me alone. Immortal. You can get out there. Actually, no. Can you go and attack? Spirit Leech on you as well. Yeah, SpaceX is quite interesting, and of course Blue Origin as well. Is it Blue Origin, the Amazon guy? Oh, I don't believe that for a second. But America isn't going through a great economic situation, much like the rest of the Western world. But I think it's right. I think privatization of space, I mean, the cost for governments to send things to space is just ludicrously above what we're really going to get out of it. SpaceX, most of these private space companies will be based in the States, albeit not necessarily owned by Americans. I'm quite eager. Is it Blue Origin I'm thinking, by the way, guys? The other one, Jeff Bezos owns. Okay, you go against that. Oh, no, 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 no. Okay, you go after... Ah, shit. Okay, you two go after this guy. Go on, Vlad. Oh, I don't want to fight Slayers. Ah, right, okay. I'm a big fan of SpaceX as well. But there's been a good come out of Blue Origin as well. Yeah, Elon Musk is a very interesting man. Did you hear, you know, obviously he called his company Tesla, and, you know, Tesla's arguably one of the most underrated inventor scientists of our time, but very interesting what what Elon Musk did say, because although we identify very strongly with Tesla and his innovation, he's more likely we'd identify with Thomas Edison, who, you know, in most of the academic world isn't recognised in too kind a way, and that's I find that very interesting. Why he said that. I like that though, I must admit. I can imagine him as like an evil genius or something, Elon Musk. How many Slayers are still left here? You stay with these Slayers. Oh, fuck. Actually, you get after that. Mortis engine. Oh no, Slayer. I'm gonna die. Well, I wouldn't know, not being an American citizen, but I can imagine the outrage I would have at my own country if I was an American right now. But that's only through my own moral and political compass, which is obviously deeply only personal. If it makes you feel any better, the UK is about to go through a constitutional crisis. Which doesn't make me feel any better. In fact, I shouldn't say we're about it. We are going through a constitutional crisis. So whilst we've been talking... Yeah, I know, Sid. I know. Whilst we've been talking, I have taken over the Dowie home province. Just pointing out, you know. Right, folks. I need to feed the cat, and I am quite tired, so I think I'm going to head off. So for you guys watching on YouTube, thank you. I know we've been talking politics and everything else, but that's what happens in live stream campaign. Nothing too offensive or outrageous, hopefully. Sin, Redbird, thanks for joining. Sin, are you streaming tomorrow? Redbird, are you streaming tomorrow?